Welcome, everybody. I have a really great guest this week I want to touch upon. I stumbled on her music and her Instagram page. Just going through hashtags, which I do advise everyone to do. So you can always find different artists and try to connect with them more on a personal level and even just find great music in general. And today's artist, she goes by the name Shoni. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Yes. How are you doing with everything?
You know, to be honest, it's like a roller coaster. Some days I'm great. Some days I'm like, what is going on? You know.
Yes. And like
so it changes by day.
Yeah, and Corona going on, and then like the protests for justice. It's just been a crazy 2020.
Yes, for sure. Definitely. We don't hear much about Rona right now, though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it took the back burner.
Right.
Yes. But I want to get into first the song that actually made me gravitate towards you, and that's your song, Good Vibes. When I first heard it, it gave me soundtrack vibes. I just wanted to know, who is this artist, and why isn't this on a placement of a movie already? Like, I'm waiting for it. Just the whole mixing of it is perfect. And then two, I'm originally from Jamaica, and then I'm getting the Caribbean like instrumentals and back into the chorus for Good Vibes. I'm just like, oh, I really gravitate towards this, and I had to reach out. So could you like touch upon Good Vibes?
Oh yeah. Well, thank you so much for your kind words. Actually, a producer reached out to me on Twitter. I've been writing songs for forever, but you know, I was comfortable being in the background. Just, you know, doing background vocals or singing in choirs and things like that. But, you know, I told myself, you know, okay, it's time for you to start putting yourself out there. So I feel like it was truly a divine. Someone reached out to me on Twitter and was like, you know, I know you sing. Do you mind if I produce a track for you? And I was like, okay, you know, and so he asked me, you know, what type of sound I wanted, and I just gave him a few artists that I was interested in. And so then he created the track for me. And honestly, I just started writing from there. It was very, very easy, you know, once I heard the track.
Yes. And did you actually know which are the artists that you actually gave to him for like recommendations?
That's a really good question. So I gave him, what is her name? She has that song. I gave him Ari Lennox.
Oh yeah, I love Ari Lennox. See, that's where I connected you two together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I gave him Ari Lennox, and I gave him the song Whipped Cream.
Whipped Cream. Okay.
Yeah. And so he kind of just did did his own thing, and he knows that, you know, my family's from Barbados, so he added that little Caribbean aspect to it. He's actually Nigerian.
Okay.
So I really appreciated that too, you know, just to bring the cultures together.
Yeah, definitely. I do touch upon a lot of Nigerian artists on my podcast. I'm a big fan of like the Afro music. I love their movement. In my opinion, they're actually might take over like the Caribbean sound for like the voice of outside of America right now. Like, they're on a really great track, and I see a lot of bigger mainstream artists trying to take influences from them. So yeah,
absolutely.
I do enjoy that. Yes.
I agree, especially after Beyonce came out with, you know, the Lion King album. Yeah. You know, a lot of artists are definitely taking notice, you know, for that Afro sound.
Yes, definitely. So could you touch upon your creative process, not just for Good Vibes, but for whenever you write?
Sure. So what I do two things. Sometimes I may listen to a track and I may, you know, come up with a melody off the top of my head, and then I'll lay that down just so I have a reference. And then I just go in and just write words, just random words that may come to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I just kind of like put the pieces together as I'm writing. Essentially, that's what I did for Good Vibes. You know, when I heard it, it made me feel good. It made me feel
like everything irie and nice.
Yeah,
nice
you know. Yeah. And I was like, you know, when do you feel good? And so I just started writing words like, where did you feel good? When did you feel good? Who were you with? What were you doing? You know? And I just started putting the song together from there, from the keywords.
Okay. Yes. Also, too, so when we got in like contact, I went through like your IG to get a little overview of who you are, and then I noticed you did your own cover to Tamaya's "You Put a Move on My Heart."
Oh yeah. That's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, like I'm really big, like back in like the '90s, early 2000s, Monica, Brandy. Yeah. So like, who would be your favorite from like that era of music?
Ooh, you said them. Monica, Brandy, of course, Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston is my number one.
Okay.
Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, all Tamia, Deborah Cox.
Yeah.
You know, those are the artists that I grew up listening to. So I grew up listening to R&B music and singers who had big voices.
Yeah.
You know, and they sung full out. That was kind of, you know, the era that I appreciated.
Yeah, I think that's what's missing, because the closest artist I would say that was close to actually resembling that sound was an artist called, her name is Alice Smith. Alice Smith, if you heard of her. Like, she had like a really strong voice, and it was just so captivating, especially on her song Be Easy. It literally gives me chills all the time. But also too with like the Tamaya song, it was just bringing me back to like Brownstone, 5 Miles to Empty. I'm just like,
yes,
like that's what I'm getting into. I'm like, okay, yeah,
yes. You know, that's one of my songs, and that's something that I want to start doing on my profiles, is start featuring, you know, different throwback songs that I feel like inspired me. Yeah. You know.
Definitely.
That was my idea with that.
Yeah, because if you think about it, a lot of artists nowadays, they got their big break by remixing older songs. Just like how movies are now redoing old movies. Like, there isn't much difference in between. So like how Tory Lanez, he took the Brownstone song and it blew up. Because I've been following him since 2011 as an underground artist. But the minute he dropped that song, Say It, that's when everything said it. Yeah, it went.
That's how he got me.
Yeah, definitely. And two, I saw your post on Andre Harrell. Yes, R.I.P. So were you a big Motown?
You know, it's funny. I've always said that I wanted to be the female Diddy. Like that was like my life goal. It was never to necessarily be an artist. It was always, I want to be the female Diddy. Like, you know, I want to do what he did. And as I started like really following and learning about, you know, his process and his history, I learned more about Andre Harrell. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Diddy became who he is now because of Andre Harrell. So it was just like, and when I realized how impactful Andre Harrell was, not only to the music industry, but to our culture as a whole. Yeah. I was like, that's what I'm aspiring to do. You know, music is just a vessel for me to do that, but it's ultimately to affect change.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, because even with like Motown, I was gonna touch upon like the New Jack Swing.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah, like Guy. You had Boyz II Men. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, Teddy Riley and them. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I grew up listening to all of that too. You know, I remember dancing in my backyard. You know, to their music. Yes. Just doing my thing, living life.
Yes, definitely. Also, too, do you play the guitar? Because I've seen on your IG that you do post a lot of guitars and like instruments. So, like, what instruments do you play?
Yeah, well, my number one instrument, of course, is voice, and second, I would say piano. But I am learning the guitar, and I think I love that one more than the piano, just because it seems more. I don't know. It just seems more like I just get a tingly feeling when I'm playing, you know, the acoustic guitar for some reason. Maybe it's the sound, but yeah. So my desire is to include all, you know, instruments in my project.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoy that. And have you done any live performances yet?
No, that was my thing. I have in Atlanta. I recently moved to New York, maybe like 2 years ago, you know, to really, really go full steam with my career. But when Rona happened, that was this year was supposed to be when I'm doing my shows and, you know, releasing my EP and everything. So now I kind of got to pivot.
Yeah, because I see a lot of artists now, they're moving to more live stream and different platforms. Yeah. So yeah, maybe that's an avenue you can do, collab with a couple artists to garner everyone's fan base together and take from each other.
Yeah, that's definitely a great idea. And that's what I've been thinking about doing too. Yes. And do it from the comfort of my own home is great.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But so you grew up in Atlanta?
No, I moved to Atlanta, you know, when I started pursuing my music career and getting to know other Atlanta artists. But I was born in New York, and then we moved to Virginia, and then I moved to Atlanta.
Okay, yeah. I was going to touch upon it because I got into Morehouse College, but then I ended up going to another college, which I really wish I went to Morehouse. Then I found out my class for 2019, the commenced speaker actually paid off their student loans. So I'm just like, wow, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. You know, I really loved Atlanta, and I learned so much about sisterhood and brotherhood.
Yeah, definitely.
There, definitely the Black music scene is very, very like a family oriented place. You know what I'm saying? So Morehouse would have been a great school for you.
Yeah, because even too with a lot of like Atlanta rappers, I noticed a lot of them would get each other a feature. It doesn't matter how big you are. Yeah, so that's the one thing I love. Because in New York, I know it's more of it's mine and mine only type of like energy out there. But I'm seeing it starting to change more with more people collabing together for ultimate goal.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. So Shoni, what is the hardest part about being a musician?
Ooh, to be honest with you, it's being affected by everything that goes on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just say, for instance, you know, everything that's going on with the social climate right now. I was talking to my friend. I was like, you know, I'm tired of writing love songs. Like, I kind of feel stuck. And, you know, he was like, well, you know, how are you feeling? And I told him, I was like, I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling sad, you know, and I'm kind of upset, you know, with people in the world. And he was like, well, that's what you need to write about. So I would say the hardest thing for me as an artist is feeling everything. Yes. And it affects me so much that it's like, I have to do something about it. Like, I have to.
I know. Yeah, I'll definitely say Common is one of those artists that makes me feel just proud to be Black. Like, his music just really moves me. Just every time I listen to him, it just gives me chills, especially the people. He needs to like remaster it and just put it back out, because I feel like this time in history definitely needs that track.
Yes, I agree with you. Oh man, I love Common is one of my favorite hip hop artists too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. What advice would you give to one of any of our listeners about the steps to take to be a musician?
Well, I would tell them to take it seriously. You know, this is definitely an uphill battle.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody. Once you graduate college, there's not going to be any professors or anything on your back telling you, hey, you need to practice today. You know, so you have to be intentional about making sure you set time out, you know, to perfect your craft. Yes. You will never be 100. So it's like, I have to practice every single day. So that's what I would say. Take it seriously. And also be honest and true to yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? On my journey, there's been a lot of people that have wanted me to go different ways, you know, with my career and with my sound. But ultimately, I have to be the one to set that determination on what I'm going to do with my sound. So, you know, trusting yourself and taking it seriously. This is not a game.
Yeah. So on your journey as a musician currently, would you say is the music industry, is it more business or more music?
More business for sure.
Okay.
More business for sure. I mean, you can look at the artists that are out right now. Yeah. You know, they aren't necessarily musicians.
True.
They're not necessarily students of the craft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're just popular, and sometimes that affects the music that is being produced to the public. And I think that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
I've always said that I wanted to make sure that what I produce and what comes out of me is genuine, but it's also sounds correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to put out no mess just because, somebody thinks it's hot, but it's just like, it has to be right. It has to be right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So let's shift from music. I want to talk about what you're doing also besides music. While I was snooping around your IG, I noticed you have your own podcast. So could you talk about it?
Yeah, sure. I started the Beauty and Soul podcast in 2016.
Wow.
When I was in Atlanta, I was doing different events. I had an open mic event for artists. And then I also had a Beauty and Soul brunch for entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, things like that. But I started noticing that people were traveling to my event. And I was like, okay, every time I would ask someone, I'm like, oh, where are you from? And they were like, oh, I'm from here, I'm from there. And I was just like, what if I could do something to help you guys so that you don't have to necessarily travel here, but you can still get the message and you can still feel, what it is that I'm trying to deliver. So I started podcasting. I mean, it was easy for me because I'm kind of a nerd and I like listening to podcasts. So I was like listening to all these podcasts. So it was just like, why don't you just start your own? So I started my own and it just grew from there. People just started, reaching out, to tell me about their businesses or their different struggles that they are overcoming.
Yes.
And so the Beauty and Soul podcast is essentially, we talk about the B side of life, love, and business. So, the A side of a track is what gets played on the radio. It's popular, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the B side is the side that a lot of people shy away from, the struggles that we have to overcome in life, love, and business. So that's what I talk about.
That's nice. And how's that been going so far?
It's been going good. I've kind of been taking a pause because I'm like, one, like I said, I feel everything. So it's like, it's hard for me to be in a love and light place when there's just so much tension right now going on. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that what I'm giving out to my listeners is helpful and healing to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So yeah, I've been kind of like feeling myself out right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Shoni, where can we all find you on social media?
Well, I'm everywhere. I am Shoni, IAMSHONI, except for Twitter because somebody has my name. But it's still IAMSHONI _ That's it. But yeah, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely plug it in the description for this episode. And also your music.
Yeah.
Where is your music available for us to listen?
Same thing. My music is available everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube. It's everywhere. And I'm super, super excited. I'm working on a song now for the protesters in the struggle.
Yes.
And I'll be releasing my EP later this summer.
Yes, thank you. I was just going to touch upon it. Like, I'm really anticipating it. Like, I'm really excited to see where it can go and actually share it with my friends. I shared it with my twin sister. She enjoyed it. So I'm really looking forward to it. But thank you, Shoni, for your time. Wish you all the best. I'll definitely connect back with you to touch upon different music avenues and where you are in your next point in your journey. Thank you so much. Yes, listeners. And I just want to say, just check Shoni out. Really enjoy her. Great person speaking before the interview, and you'll definitely like her. And make sure you give her a follow on all social medias and follow her on all streaming services. So I hope everyone enjoyed the interview that I did with Shoni, because I enjoyed it, just meeting up, chatting, And that's the point of what my podcast is about. Just to meet with new artists and try to give them a platform for them to actually share their story. And then definitely be looking out for her because she has a bright future. I'm going to have her back on the show eventually in future episodes. So stay tuned for that. So now we're going to continue back with our scheduled programming. Like this is a TV show or something. Talking all political. Yeah, so right about now, yes, we're going to be passing the mic or reporting back to Jonathan in the urban community. Talking all politically correct. When they could just say black community. But yeah, so back to music news. I didn't really want to touch on this topic as much, but it's with Tekashi 6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj. They just dropped their single together called Trolls. I didn't listen to it yet. I don't know why. I just don't have the motivation or the inclination to actually just go check it out. But I do believe that just that project in itself of them two getting together matters more than just a single, because now it clarifies that artists are gonna be collabing with 6ix9ine regardless if he snitched. Like all this gang talk just means nothing. And even the guy who voiced in this movement to like pretty much cancel 6ix9ine, Meek Mill, it's even worse because now he's collabing 6ix9ine with your ex-girl, and then he tried to use that Drake line off of Back to Back on an IG video I saw a snippet of. He's talking about like, yo, is that your world tour or your girl tour? Oh my god. So yes, I know Meek is sick right now. He needs a Pepto-Bismol because that dude, he's tight. Yeah, and then also too, earlier in the week, you had Akon collabing with 6ix9ine on his Locked Up Part 2. And Tory Lanez actually talked about it in the comments, or no, I think he tweeted about it, trying to make light of the situation, but he was kind of salty because he asked Akon for the clearance to actually do his own remix, which he should have. I don't know why Akon didn't on a Chicks tape. Come on, you shitting me? That it would have been fire, but he gave it a snitch 9. Cause I guess Akon City needs to pay his light bill some way, somehow. Come on, bro, get that light. Yeah, so hey, I know they're gonna make a lot of money off of this. Not even if it's not good, it's just the whole aura and infamous about 6ix9ine that's gonna draw so much engagement and eyeballs to whatever he does. Cause I'm seeing he gets like over millions of likes per post. So right now the world, or not even just the world, just everyone's checking to see what he's doing. So I'll get back next week to see what's going on with all of that. And also in music news, corporations are actually investing millions of dollars into different social justice causes, especially for the black community. And that's kind of telling, because now they want to invest in pretty much, I know it's controversial, but the demise, like they help contribute to it because they're the ones who own the contracts and the image of the artist. So if they're the ones actually spewing the stereotype and the perception of the black community, then too, there is some fault added too, because okay, the artist has free will, but then again too, the creative control ultimately goes back to the corporation, unless you're like Drake. So whatever you touch turns to gold. So yeah, but most importantly, investing's cool and all, but what they should be doing is having more black people and people of color, well, especially black people, in roles, especially in like the hip-hop divisions of their conglomerates and subsidiaries, to be running these positions, because I guarantee you, if you check their board of directors, it's pretty Caucasian, white. And how are you gonna tell me, a black man, how to write music or promote it when you're not even from the culture? And you know the crazy thing, a lot of people were shitting on Dame Dash for years. They were crucifying him, laughing at him, talking about how he's broke
and everything. And now everyone's reiterating the same rhetoric that Dame Dash been talking about. Be your own boss. Why are you going to have some outsiders try to dictate your culture? Like, they're not in your culture. You're going to have them exploit it for their own personal gains while at the expense of the black culture. Like, okay, they're going to be promoting all these beefs and all this negative perception of us. And then at the end of the day, they're going to get the money, and then we're going to get some form of payment, not more than what they're getting, because they're going to screw you with it, even if it's like a 60-40 deal. They're going to take their like 60% gross, and you're getting that shit net. So you're taking all the expenses. So that 60-40 is more like 95-5. So they're going to put all the expenses on your side and overload it on that. So it fucks you over, and they don't take any type of risk, in a sense, besides the revenue generated. So, yeah, I forgot where I was going. I started getting into like finance talk and contracts. But yeah, so they're boarded. Yeah, Dame Dash. Yeah, be your own boss. Like, why are you having to like pander to people who are not in your culture so you can get whatever you want to be published? Yeah, I'm not gonna laugh at your corny joke. Or like, oh, hey David, yeah, you want to play golf, or can I join your softball league? Like, no, let's just talk about music. Like, whatever I envision is what I believe is in the best interest, because art imitates life. So if you're going to be having, especially rap music, which is pretty much the moneymaker, is the number one genre of music currently in the world, you're going to have that people who don't know about it try to dictate what it is. Okay, there's the business part, but there's the talent, which is most important, that can drive it. Because without them, they don't make nothing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on it. They should have more executives if they want, but I would advise more people to do it yourself, because we're in a great equalizer with the internet. You don't really need a label, even though it might be harder. Hey, short money isn't always good money. You got to get the long money so you can eat for years on years, instead of having to just get the money up front. Now you're in a shitty ass deal, and now you can't live off of your thing. You don't own your publishing, you don't own your masters. Now you're gonna have to be torn like a slave, which pretty much those contracts are, for the rest of your life, which is not cool. That's bad. Yeah, that's bad deals out there. That's not it. Oh, also too, BMG, they vowed to review for 30 days all the contracts of their black artists that they signed under their label, like Khalees. And who else? I forgot who's under BMG. Because supposedly there was mistreatment. Supposedly, nah, there is. I'm not surprised. Of how artists got paid. Well, their contracts, because in the article they were just talking about how BMG pretty much gave shitty contracts to the black artists compared to their counterparts. So they're trying to see if they can amend what transpired decades ago, a couple decades ago, even up till now. So they're gonna have a 30-day. Hopefully they find some stuff, which they probably won't. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, through our calculations, we think that the contracts were just. It wasn't under any pressure to null and void the contract. Like, come on, you shitting me? Like, why would they want to let their cash cow? Because what, Khalees milkshake? Even too, Pharrell, I love that dude. I think I could pretty much call him like the uncle that I never had. But he's fucked over Khalees too. Supposedly she ain't make no money off that milkshake because it was the Neptunes that produced it. And I guess the contract, whatever they were under, just pretty much screwed her over. So it's a grimy industry in general. But hopefully BMG can actually give some more percentage points back to the artists and try to do right by them. And two, it could be a tax incentive. They're gonna win at the end of the day. Like, you can write off all of this. What is it called? Good faith. I think that's what it is, I believe. But yeah, so come on, BMG, do what you gotta do. And previously, I don't think I talked about it on the last episode, but I want to talk about the Blackout Tuesday Instagram post that the music label thought was a good idea. It's cool and all, but it just literally gave like white people and other people outside of black the chance to do the bare minimum to actually help the cause. Like, it was kind of a cop-out, low-hanging fruit. Like, come on, this is what you're gonna do. Oh yeah, I helped. Like, no, just having a black screen, bro. You probably just hit the screenshot from your lock screen. Like, bro, you weren't doing shit. Yeah, and then it pretty much flooded out because there was too much confusion. And when you get so many people on a mass scale, there's always going to be a point where it's going to screw everything up. So that's not the move. They did something else. I don't have all the answers, but I wish they did something else besides just having a freaking black screen. Like, it's like the Sunken Place and Get Out. So yeah, they should have had solutions and have like a forum, Instagram Live of what we could do. That would have been more conducive. Like, hey, we have our bill that every music corporation, we're going to invest X amount of money into black schools and education with music. Or just do something along those lines. Something with music. Instead of just having black screens. Because that's just the bare minimum. And now you're going to have people signal virtue. Like, oh yeah, I helped out by just posting a damn black screen. Come on. Your phone was probably cracked. Oh, also, I'm looking at my notes. The Grammys, they're going to look into their urban category. Urban. So they might change it. Because of like the pretty much the negative connotations towards it. Like, oh, it's urban contemporary. Or any of that. Come on. It's pretty much a way of just saying the black category just for black people. Like, dude, we don't need an urban, personally, for me, even though it gives us some form of recognition, but I think that we should have had recognition already in these other categories that we created, like rock and roll, hip hop, R&B. Like, who? Like, Post Malone was R&B? You shitting me? Like, him, Pasty Malone, like, come on. I'll take that back. He makes some good. No, now I'm starting to give him the benefit of the doubt, because for the longest, I couldn't stand him because he will always disrespect hip hop. He'll just use it, and then once he reaps the benefits, he'll just leave it out for dry. So I used to never jack that. I'm like, bro, why are you disrespecting hip hop? Because I remember he started off trying to do country, and it didn't blow up the minute he tried to rap. Since we're really forgiven for second chances and are pretty much there isn't really a gatekeeper in that genre anymore. So he had a better chance of actually blowing up. And then he found a lane and he's trying to exploit it. And then when you look at his tattoos, it's all rock and roll dudes. Like, bro, he don't really fuck with hip hop. It's just a money cash grab that he was trying to exploit. But he does make really good music. That's one thing I'm not gonna fault him on. But I had to hold on to my principles for the longest. I held out long enough, so I started to give it a listen again. It was good. Like, some of it's R&B. I'll say it's more rap, because rap is more evolutionary now. There's so many different facets of rap. But then they had like Justin Bieber. They put him in the R&B category, I think, for 1 year, and then they put a lot of other real official disciplined people who are in the R&B category in the urban side. I'm like, come on, urban. Yo, that reminds me, when I was in college, I was with like one of my white friends. We just went to the mall because I was visiting him. He wanted to get something. And then he was looking for something, and then he asked the lady, oh, is there any more of some type of shirt? Or, no, I think it was a flannel. And she was like, yeah. And then she was starting to get into like the styling. She's like, yeah, the styling is cool. It's very urban. And then she looked at me. Then she said, no, she's trying to change it up. Like, come on. Like, you could just say it's very niggerish. Like, come on. Like, yo, why you just made it hot now, talking about, oh, it's very urban, and then you try to backtrack it because I was there. Like, come on. Like, Joe, just deal with it. You said it, own it up. I'll respect you more. But she was an older white lady, so it's not cool. Because if she's gonna change it, that means that there's a type of negative connotation that's kind of describing a particular group of people, urban. Like, come on, what's urban? All I know is Keith Urban, that little guitarist dude. But urban what? Or Nick Saban? Come on. Yeah, so that's what I gotta say. Like, come on, just take away the urban division. We don't need a category that we should be in just for being black. For one, we should already be dominating pretty much most of the genres anyway. So, yeah, that's all I have to say for that urban topic. And that's it for the music news portion. But also, too, I just want to talk about an album that I never paid attention to. And now, I think a couple of days ago, I actually gave it a chance. And I was just really fascinated. It's not what you think it is. It's nothing like crazy. But it's like Rich the Kid. His album, The World Is Yours Too. I remember the first one. It had like New Freezer. And that one that all the girls be shaking their neck at all the HBCU university parties. Like that song. I forgot what it was. But yeah, I listened to it when I went to go get some Chipotle or Chipotle, whichever one you like to describe it as. And I'm just like, yo, this shit is fire. I didn't skip through one song, but his song, which one was it? There was one that felt like a 90s house beat. I think it was like one of like the 6th or 7th track on it. And then which one? No, Like Mike with Jay Critch. Too much heat on it. Like he's like they're literally the superhero. I'll say Famous Dex, that Rich Forever movement. Famous Dex, Rich the Kid, and Jay Critch. Like, it's literally like they're playing WWE, tagging each other in. Like, yo, I go do some damage, then I'm gonna come back in. Like Jay Critch is on the hooks, elite. And you definitely gotta check out his old music on SoundCloud. Like, what is it called? Carmelo. I'll be balling like Carmelo. All these rings like Olympic gold medals, bro. You kidding me? Jay Critch was really that dude. But yeah. So there were like so many other songs on it that I'm just like, yo, this isn't a bad album. I don't know why I never gave it a chance. Like, I used to be a really big Rich the Kid fan back in, I think, what was it, like 2016, 17, when it was just him and Famous Dex doing their thing, and they had that one song. No, they had a couple songs, like Go Yard Part 2. It was like when they were in like the Go Yard store. He's like, I got an A in math. It was just catchy. It wasn't any type of like lyrical rapping, but it was just like some swag rap. And then you had like Famous Dex coming here off it. I'm like, yeah, it's fire. And then it's like that Windmill song, Duncan in the Windmill on SoundCloud. Bro, those are the good old days. I think freshman year of my college. No, I think that was like 2016 actually. Yeah, 2016. That was when I was on my like Rich the Kid vibes, and then also like Rob Banks, Shaggy's son. Yeah, because it reminds me of the time when I actually listened to Watch the Throne. Like I heard all the singles, but I didn't really listen to the whole album in its entirety. So I'm just like, whatever. But then, like, what is it, like 2 years ago? Well, 2 years from that time it came out, when I was in high school, I just came home one day afternoon or whatever, and I just started listening to it. I'm just like, yo, I didn't know they had so many hits on this. I'm like, yo, this was really on Watch the Throne? And then I had to hit my boy up. I'm like, yo, I didn't know Watch the Throne was this fire. And it's so sad they're not going to make another one. Dang, I'm kind of tight. But now that was a moment in history that I wish I actually took the time to actually enjoy that moment. Oh, now talking about enjoying the moments. I wish I actually enjoyed that song. What is it by Magic? That group. Why you gotta be so rude? Because it was playing on everywhere, every station back in the day, and I used to be annoyed by it. And then maybe 3 years ago, I actually listened to it. I'm like, yo, this is kind of good. I wish I actually lived in the moment for this song. But just everyone just playing it every day just really turned me off from it, because I hate that. Because now I just feel... It's kind of like when you say a certain word so many times, it loses meaning. Just like when you play a song so many times, it kind of loses its meaning after a while. So that's how I felt about that song. What's another one that I wish I enjoyed? I think that's all I can remember right now, but yeah. Nah, just that Rich the Kid, Watch the World Is Yours Too. It was nice. But I listened to, what is it, Boss Man? No bueno, that wasn't it. But he had that one Brooklyn drill song. It was kind of cool. But it wasn't no regular drill. It's kind of like he was just riding a wave like a lot of artists, like Drizzy Marley or Drake was riding the drill wave. He should have took the UK drill. That's, if you really want to do something, that drill is different. The New York City drill ain't touching that. So I'm just gonna clarify for like the next segment or the segment before that. Whenever I do an interview with an artist, I'm not gonna do an artist spotlight because that's pretty much the artist spotlight in itself. Just me interviewing and getting to know an artist, because that's even better. So whenever I'll do an interview with someone, then I'm not gonna do an artist spotlight. But when it's just me one, then I'll do an artist spotlight. And then eventually I'll try to reach out and hopefully get back to them to come on my show so we can talk about music and chop it up. And now for the album review, I wasn't really like checking any new albums lately. I was gonna pick the Alley, what is it? No, Chloe and Alley track, but it wasn't something that really resonated with me. They only probably had like one or two songs that I really like. Okay, it's a tune, but I went back like I think a week or two to another album that I'm like, okay, this is kind of worth reviewing, because I was checking this guy for a while, and it's by Ro James. If you don't follow me on Instagram at LloydKnows_podcast, which you should, because I post daily of new music and different artists that you should check out, which is really good. Yeah, Ro James, I think he has like probably like 300,000 followers. Like, he actually liked my post about him because I was just announcing that he dropped his new album, and it comes after his, I think, 2017 album. Was it 2017 or 18? El Dorado, because that's when I first got to know Ro James, because he had his song You Already Know That, or You Already Knew That. Freshman year at college, I'll never forget that. I was on SoundCloud, and it just popped up. I'm like, yo, this song is lit. Like, you already know that, girl. Like, it was like a swag R&B song, like mad cool. The music video, Fuego, had a whole bunch of like black people together just chilling. It was giving me a more black vibe, similar to Diddy's song If I Was Your Lover. It was pretty much similar, but more of a younger aesthetic, which I did enjoy. But I love that song too. If you could be my lover with Ty Dolla $ign and some other chick, that used to be my track back in the day. Yeah, so yeah, You Already Knew That. And then he had his biggest song till then, which was Permission. And if that song came out this time in 2020, it would have been a way smash hit, because that's the Consent song. When he's like, with your permission, yo, like, yo, he made asking permission wavy. I mean, you always should. Let me just clarify that. We're not taking, that's different, bro. Yeah, you should get prosecuted for that. But yeah, he just made asking consent a way less awkward, sexy way of doing it, which I do like that about Ro James. So yeah, Permission, and then that El Dorado album, it was really good. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the thing that was going to move his career yet. And he kept doing live performances. I think he did one with Maxwell. If you don't remember Maxwell, you probably did. He had that song Pretty Birds. What is it? Is it Pretty Birds? Or Pretty Wings? Little Wings? Pretty Wings. Yeah, that one. And then he has A Long Time, or That Woman's Work, Fuego. Yeah, and then he was working with Luke James. They did a song with BJ the Chicago Kid. Yeah, I think all three of them did. And if you don't know Luke James, check him out. That's his boy also. So he has his album Mantic. I don't know if it's supposed to be a play on romantic, but he just named it Mantic. Yeah, so let's get into the Mantic album by Ro James. So like the first song on the track that I heard was the Powder Room intro. Like the first half, it didn't really do anything for me of the song. It was just pretty much just a guitar riffs going on and on and on. I thought The second half was better, but then when I listened to it again, it was okay. It was okay. I wouldn't put it as a intro track. It was more of either a second song or probably 6th to 7th placement of an album. Like after you have like your big hitters, you'll have like those filler songs. It never really felt like it was tying in the audience to get them ready for the whole album in general. And then the second track on it was Last Time, which was pretty much the first single to roll out the whole album. And it was a good track. I actually like it because the falsetto on it, he did his thing, and how it drags it out and like sustain it. I'm not gonna hit that falsetto on y'all. Scare somebody listening to it probably in public or working out, fall off the elliptical and shit. But it was giving me the vibes of him trying to recreate the song Permission. Just the whole aesthetic of it is like very late night, one-on-one, with your significant other or somebody, a little ting. You make some wine, get some wine out, just doing like, I don't know, I'm not of that big age to be doing all of that. Oh, come over, actually I could, whatever. Yeah, stick on script. Well, there's no script, but yeah, like, nah, the falsetto and just like the whole lyrics of it was cool. It was a cool track. Yeah, I think it was perfect to fit in the second place spot, because if it was in the third, I would have been like, nah, that needs to be something big. I need a big track for that. And hopefully he does it coming up. Yeah, so then the third song on it was Touchy Feely. And honestly, I wasn't a big fan of it. Even though like the whole guitar riffs and just pretty much just the hi-hats, it was just pretty much a lot of hi-hats and guitar on it. It reminded me of a song off of Trey Songz's 11 or his 28 project that he dropped it both on the same day for his birthday, November 28th. That mixtape. It reminded me of this track that Trey Songz would have done. And I don't think he did his best job on it for this track. Just pretty much hi-hats and just a slight 808 hit on it. It's literally like 3 guitar chords on it. It was alright. I felt like he could have done better on it. This could have been in the 4th spot for it. But then we're going to get into my favorite song on the album. Be Mine? Be Mine? Huh? Me? Yes. I love the lyrics on it. I love the lyrics for this track. He's like, stuck up on you. Yes, like a tattoo forever. I'ma love you like the ink is dry, yo. Let's go. As a universe. Wait, bro, I love the all the lyrics on this track. So good, so good. And then he adds in towards the end, within like probably like I think 45 seconds left of the song, he adds in the church choir. If you know me, I love church choirs and songs. Give me that little Kirk Franklin feel to it, or like Fred Hammond's Hammered, like they were in like a little Versus IG Live thing that they did I think 2 weeks ago. But yeah, even who did it? Another church rendition. Oh, the 1975 on their I think sophomore album with Sincerity Scary, Fuego. If you can do a church chorus in it, perfect. Come on. I think even Clean Bandit did one too. I think it was Stronger. That's one of my favorite songs. Yeah, nah, Be Mine. If you've seen the what is it called? The New Edition movie. It gives me that 80s and 90s feels to it also, but keeping it a little modern, like his own interpretation of that time in music. When he's like, like I'm not gonna really sing. I could sing better. Let's go out for karaoke. Yeah, but yeah, nah, I love this song. I be blaring it every time I'm driving around. Be Mine. I love this song. So good. So good. What's another song? on the album that I should feel like needing to talk about. Oh, the Miguel song, Too Much. It was a decent song for the album. It's another single that came out. I wouldn't even really call it a single because I think it was probably like a week before the album came out. So I guess it's a tactic to try to like boost up the numbers for how many listens, album sales. So he drops like probably 3. I think he dropped like 3 other tracks, but they all used the same artwork. So it wasn't really a single because last time it had its own artwork. So that was an official single. It was more of, okay, let's try to pad up these first week sales and get as much album numbers that we can by racking up a week ahead and then just adding it back onto the album. So I guess it was just a strategy, but Too Much, it was okay, but I didn't feel like this actually helped Miguel's case. Because in my opinion, Miguel's like the best R&B artist. Like R&B gives me like that Prince vibes, and I think he does even look up to Prince in the musical aspect. But it just never helped his case to actually solidify his spot as like, yo, he's really that R&B guy. Cause it was just, I don't know. You gotta check it out. I don't know what it was about this track, but also it was like the West Coast R&B instrumentals to it. Is he? No, I actually know Ro James is, so I'm gonna give him a pass on it. Actually, you might like it. I take that back. You might like. No, the second half of the song was decent. No, above decent. It was good. It was good, but like the beginning, I'm just like, Because now I'm trying to compare Miguel's features, like when he was on Jhené Aiko's Hoes, Happiness Over Everything. I believe, Miguel bodied that track with Future and Jhené Aiko. He bodied that one. But this one, I never really felt like he was putting his all into it. He was like, yo, all right, Ro James, you're my bro. I'm gonna put a placement on your album. Let me just do my thing. It's an alright song. I don't see people going back to it. It wasn't really anything exceptional or mind-blowing on it. And then he has his song Outside the Box. I don't know why when I was listening to it has no correlations, but the song that came to mind was Omarion's Icebox. I'm like, why? Just the box. I felt like it would have had more of a correlation with Roddy Ricch, The Box. And then as I started to listen to Outside, quote unquote, The Box, the name of the song, I started to feel Omarion's song Oh, when he's like, oh, but it had no correlation. I don't know what's going on in my head. But maybe it was just the cadence. It kind of reminds me of it. But just more of a 2020 transformation of that genre. Yeah, it was alright. It was alright. Nothing crazy. But his song with Masego, my Jamaican brother. I love that song. Really great song. I wish it was up further, like maybe a 4 or 5 track placement, so more people can actually listen to it, because most people don't really listen to a whole album. They'll probably listen up to like the 5th, maybe 6th spot, depends on how the album was flowing. But this should have been like a 3 through 5. I love it, and I just love how the progression of Masego has been as his craft as an artist, because I remember listening to him when he had like the pink polo tape out. It was really good, and now he's getting a more of a mature aesthetic, which I do enjoy. And then his piano, even though he still does his trap piano, is not as much. It's just more piano, just traditional piano, but his own flavor to it, which I do enjoy. And the lyrics on it was really good. And Masego did his own thing too with the singing. I don't view him as a powerful singer. I view him more of an producer in a sense, because he does a lot of production side to it and plays the trumpet and other instruments. but he's still an artist. But I think his strong suit is the production aspect of it. But no, he really did good. But his verse on it reminded me of a Levin Cali. What was it? Yeah, Levin Cali. Yeah, the guy from Switzerland, I guess. Yeah. The cadence on his song on this track reminded me of it. But no, it was good. Slow Down with Masego. Great song. And then Baby Blue. This track just reminded me of if I was watching Shrek, how we had the Hallelujah song. Literally, he just took the whole flow and cadence of Hallelujah and just made it in his own version of it. But it stayed confined in the box of it. No, it was cool. It's a cool track. But now, which do I like better? King Cruel, if you know who King Cruel is, he's from the UK. He has his own song called Baby Blue, and I think in 2014, Beyonce and Kanye West gave it great acclaim, like, yo, this guy is going to be really good. But his voice is really raspy, but that's what I love about King Cruel, and his, like, sound. Like, Baby Blue, I'll pass on it. On, not King Cruel's version of his own song, Baby Blue, but Earl James, his Baby Blue was okay. It wasn't nothing crazy. And then it started giving me country vibes too, like some country contra boy. Yeah, some crunchy. some crazy crunchy song. Yeah, but it's okay. Yeah, pass on it. Don't just listen to it throughout so you can get an understanding of where Earl James' mind was at when he was creating this album. But I don't see you going back to it after you do your own analysis on it. And then he has his outro, Look Up Things. It was pretty much a tease because throughout the whole song you felt like it was building up. It was worse than these EDM artists that will be building it up through like almost halfway and then just drop it. And it was just a simple song. Just guitar, a little guitar, but it felt like acapella. Like, acapella, which I really did enjoy. And it was just teasing. I'm just waiting for it to like one big boom, boom. But it was the outro, and it just left me wanting more. Like, bro, why didn't you add another song? Like, you didn't have to add this at the end. Then it started to make it have loose ends and be an incomplete project. Now, but I did enjoy it. I will say that. So I'm not gonna like shit on it too much. But like overall, I was feeling this project a 7.8. I'm gonna leave it at that. I think it's one of the lowest ratings that I've reviewed, but I don't really like to review shitty albums. That's for my YouTube. Check me out at Lloyd Knows. I'm gonna start adding videos to it and the podcast too. So if you wanna watch it on YouTube, you could do it too. So you have any way to go about it. But yeah, 7.8. That's what I'll like leave it as. It was cool. Like, there was different tracks that you can go back to eventually. Be Mine. I don't know. I just love Be Mine. That's all I'm gonna think about. So yeah, check out Earl James' Mantic album. It's out on all streaming platforms. You'll enjoy it. Hey, and just let me know on Instagram or at hmdpodcast@gmail your thoughts or what next album you want me to actually review, because I would love to take recommendations on that. And this week's playlist portion segment was pretty fun to do. I actually had songs that I actually really, really enjoyed playing and artists that I'm really going to be trying to get in contact with so I can bring them on the show for you to actually listen to them. And like the first song is by the group Big Gigantic, and it's their song called Friends, but it's the Party Pupils remix. I first heard this song Sunday when I was watching Neighbors and Friends. Yeah, I already talked about that show a couple times with like Yo Fred, the creator of it, or if you've been on Instagram and you've seen College Weekly, like they do that where they go to different colleges, mostly like frats and sororities, and do like what is it called? tours of like their houses and stuff, and through I think parties also, which is cool. Yeah, yo, for black guys, support black businesses. But yeah, so in like their season finale, they added this song in, and I'm like, yo, this song is a really big dance song. I'm really jacking this song. It's EDM. It's a mixture of like EDM and like house, because I view EDM and house as two different genres under like the same umbrella of like electronic music that started out in like the 80s in like Chicago by this black guy. I forgot his name. I seen a documentary years ago, but yeah, I just love it. It gives me Skylar Pence. If you have heard of him before, you probably heard his song because they ripped off, Doja Cat, whoever produced the song, they made, I think it's Say So. Say So was a Skylar Pence song, and he remixed it. So if you check out that artist, he makes like vapor wave music. So it gives me like that whole vibe. I love the trumpets in this song. It's like and also too, yeah, it just now is making me feel of some Earth, Wind and Fire, but like a EDM house Earth, Wind and Fire remix. That's how I would describe it. Great song, you should check out. It's a great summer song. I know you're gonna be having a nice cold beer. Dang, it's kind of hot in my house. Jesus Christ. But yeah, you're gonna play. I know you're gonna play this song during the summer. If you check it out, if you check out the playlist at the Healthy Music Diet Season 1 playlist on Spotify, you can see all of the songs from this whole season. So yeah, you'll definitely enjoy that song. It's a good track. I enjoy it. I've been playing it all the time now, especially in the car. It's a good one. And now we're gonna have my girl stalk Ashley. Stalk, like I'm gonna stalk you. But if you never heard of her, she's a Jamaican artist. She reminds me of Jada Kingdom, and she's been putting out more music now than Jada. But they had a song called Wasteman, which I really loved. It was probably, I think, my top 5 songs of 2019. Matter of fact, yeah, she's in it, and she has a song called Young that actually got her the attention, her first attention, Young. And then she signed a deal with Warner Music. I don't know right now if that was the best option, but I guess we'll play it out and see how it goes. But yeah, her song Devastated that we're talking about today, I really enjoyed this track. It's like, you deserve. Wait, no, what is it? No, you got me deserved. I think I'm butchering it. Oh my god. But it has the UK group Western, but they spell it without any vowels. He's like, you got me deserted. Just the whole, you're gonna catch a wine song. You're gonna be playing it, you're gonna catch the crazy wine. If not, that's tough. But nah, this is a good song. I enjoyed it a lot. I've been playing this. This has been in my rotation for a while. Since I found out about it, I think last week. I waited to put it on for this week's episode. So yeah, definitely check out on my playlist the Stalk Ashley song Devastated with Western. It's a great track. And now, this next artist, I've been trying to get him to do an interview. I think he's a sophomore in college or high school. I'm not sure. But his song is such a dream pop song, and he created it literally on his phone. Like how I said Xavier Rhapsody gives me Steve Lacy vibes from last week's episode. This guy gives me Steve Lacy vibes also, but follows it more on the traditional route as Steve Lacy, because Steve Lacy also makes all his music from like GarageBand on his phone. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And it just reminds me of his song called Sunrise. That's the song. And it's blowing up right now. It's literally blowing up. He just started putting out music, and this song already has, I think, like 800,000 listens in like a week or two. So yeah, he's getting a really good following. So I'm looking forward to hopefully having him answer me so I can get an interview with him. I would love that for everyone to get to know him. Cause he's like, watch your sunrise, let the rain fall down. It's mad nice. It gives me, you know what's a band that also reminds me of? Notification. If you listen to Notification and Last Dinosaurs, I love Last Dinosaur. Their song Sunday Night, great track. Love that song too. So it all blends in. It reminds me of the song Sunshine. Oh, Sunrise, not Sunshine. Is it Sunrise, Sunshine? Yeah, Sunrise. Yeah, great track by Kenny Elrod. Yeah, Kenny Elrod. Really good song. Check it out. And then the next song is by an artist called Mally Jose. I stumbled on this dude's song, and his song's called Squad. It's a hip-hop dance track. If you first heard of Vic Mensa 6 years ago, he had a song called Down on My Luck, and that's when I first got introduced to Vic Mensa, and it gives me that same upbeat dancing SoundCloud vibe, but done really well. Like, this song is so good. I'm gonna hit him up definitely and try to get an interview with him, because I want to see where his mind was going for this track. Like, mad upbeat. I'm dancing. I'm like, yo, I thought it was supposed to be a rap song. I'm like, dang. Nah, he's singing it too fast. I can't even recite the lyrics. Yeah, I should check the lyrics. But yeah, definitely check out Squad by Mally Jose. But the S on Jose is a $. Yeah, nah, Squad. Nah, his Squad song, Fuego. I've been bumping this all the time this week. Really great song. I wouldn't be surprised if he's from actually Chicago. Okay, now the next track. I don't know how the hell I found this artist, but I think it's just a one girl band, and she goes by the name Meth Math. And I don't know which Spanish country she's from, because this song's in Spanish. It's called Parando Y. I don't know what it is in Spanish. Someone who speaks Spanish in the audience, just like comment on my Instagram what the Y is supposed to sound like. It's like, okay, so like Parando Y Larando. Yeah, tell me the whole vernacular and how it's supposed to be pronounced. But it's giving me a trance. If you listen to trance music before, it's literally her just reciting a couple words and having that reggaeton song, like instrumental behind it. If you listen to Kali Uchez, what is it, like Planet something? Like that whole instrumental is giving me that vibe. Like that whole, Kali Uchez. I want to go see her live. I actually want to meet her. Shoot when it's win. But yeah, Math. I'm gonna check out her other songs, cause this song was kind of weird. It gave me some weird vibes, even though I don't know what the hell she's saying. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Cause I remember Buscabala, when I touched upon them on previous couple episodes ago for Artist Spotlight. They were Spanish, and like I understood where their vibe and their aesthetic and their mission was going. This chick, I don't know, like I felt like if the boogeyman was coming under my bed or in the cupboard, this song will be playing, because this junk sounds spooky. It's a very spooky song. It's just such a trance. Like I'm about to get possessed and shit. Let me stop listening to it. Yeah, so go check out Math. Wow, tongue twister. Parando Wailarando on my playlist. So now you definitely gotta check out the playlist, because I just butchered the name. You gonna try to be typing in some bullshit, and Spotify don't have autocorrect. Yeah, they do, but they don't at the same time. So then the next track is by Sydney Scotia, and she has a song called ETA. Let me hear it again. Yeah, funky. It's a funky beat. Yeah, I'm listening to it right now, so I'm trying to get some more critiques on it. Oh, I know exactly who she reminded me of. What's her name? Milana? The girl from the UK. She sounds just like her. The one who sings, what is it? I Wish I Missed My Ex. Every time the weekend comes, yeah. I'll be in the one that's on. Yeah, that one. Or, what is it? No Pressure, is it called? Oh, Not Sober Now That We. So, that girl from the UK. Yeah, this reminds me, she sounds just like her. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check out this girl. What's her name again? Yeah, Sydney Scotia. ETA. I really enjoyed this track. She's a white girl, but I literally thought she was Milana or whatever her name is from the UK. I'll try to get the right pronunciation of it next time. Nah, very funky track. It's nothing too crazy where it's gonna go left field or right field. It's a consistent funky beat to it, and then they throw a little jazz trumpets in it during the chorus. So now definitely check out ETA. And the next song is for those who enjoyed like the majestic casual era of music back on YouTube when it was new and artists were just putting out their like indie tracks, all different types of genres, rap, lo-fi, etc. on that channel. You will enjoy this next track. Well, anyway, you should be enjoying every track because I'm putting out all different genres of music so you can get a healthy diet and expand your palate. Yeah, so the next song is by an artist called Phrase, and he has a song called Too Hot and Too Cold. It giving me that Thomas Mish vibe. He's a UK guitarist. He's really big out there. He be performing in the Glastonbury festivals and stuff. Yeah, so he's really giving me like funky guitar riffs in it, and I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's like hip hop experience, but it's kind of in a sense. He takes some inspiration from hip hop. Actually, no, it is some hip hop in it because it's a little more funky, upbeat, but groovy at the same time. Not as well. It's not like super dancey like how I said it was like Mally Jose's song Squad, but it's the right sugar and spice, like the Powerpuff Girls. You know, you need every sugar and spice and everything nice. So it mixes up to make a really good song. Cool song. It's more of an afternoon song. I wouldn't put it late at night. Like, it's not gonna get your blood running or pumping too much where it's gonna elevate your heart rate. But it's more of a, okay, I'm getting ready for the nighttime. I'm gonna go out pre-corona. Yeah, I don't know if you want to go out now, even if they're phasing in different phases. I don't know. Test lab guinea pigs. See what's gonna happen. Oh, you get sick. Oh, no. Everyone come back in. Yeah, but yeah, so like this song, Too Hot, Too Cold. It's a definitely track you're gonna like pre-game, get ready to go out. Or if you just want to do like schoolwork or anything, definitely check out this song on the playlist. And finally, we got one of my guys that I post about. Well, I don't know him personally, but I actually enjoy this song because I'm trying to expand my palette back into like folk music, because I did have a playlist I think last year of like a whole bunch of folk artists. So I wanted to dive back in, and I found a black guy who I never heard of at the time. His name is Trey Burt. I did post about him on my Instagram page. Like I said, if you're not following me, follow me on Instagram at LloydKnows_podcast for daily posts about music and news. But yeah, so Trey Burt, he has a song called Undead God of War. And it's a really good song. I enjoy it. It's a really good song. It's nothing crazy. It's like folk music, like country folk. You know what you're going to get. It's nothing you're going to be wilding out on. But it's a good room filler. Like, you're just going to put it on. And he uses the harmonica. What is it? Like that little thing. I forgot, what is it? Is it the harmonica or something where you go, brr, 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 and you just blow air into it? Yeah, that. And he has like the little banjo. Because it doesn't sound like an acoustic guitar. It's more of like a banjo string instrument on it. No, great song. And his lyrics, he gives me like that Bob Dylan vibe. And he has like that raspy old folk voice. But it's not like a crazy, he's going to blow you away by his command of his voice. But his lyrics are what going to draw you in. And I've heard his album. It's a pretty good album for a folk artist. I don't expect him to be selling out crazy unless he's going to be going the Leon Bridges route of more, I forgot whatever genre Leon Bridges is in. But yeah, go down that route compared to just straight folk music, because that's like a niche. But I feel like he can really garner his own fan base and do really well in a career in music and play forever if he does it right. So yeah, so go check out Trey Burt's song Undead God of War on all streaming platforms, and his album, which is the self-titled, well, not self-titled, but Undead God of War. That's the name of his project too. And thank you everyone for tuning in to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed my guest artist interview with Shoni. Definitely check out her song Good Vibes and look out for her. So just hit that follow on her Spotify, and also to follow her on her social media that she said earlier, and I will be linking it into the bio below. And also to make sure to follow me on Instagram again at LloydKnows_podcast. Where else? So yeah, to get all information, and it's going to be in the bio for my other podcasts and YouTube also. I'm starting a YouTube. I don't know why I haven't, but yeah, so it's going to be under as Lloyd Knows also. So make sure you look out for that, and next week I'll give more information on that. So it's not just going to be podcasts, but also other music stuff too. So I'm excited for that avenue and endeavor. And likewise, if you found a track or two that you enjoyed, I'm glad. And if not, I'll try better next time. You've been listening to the Healthy Music Diet Podcast. Peace.